Imagine this. It's 2010 and the AI revolution is more of a sci-fi buzzword than reality. The field is fragmented and niche, mostly academic research, a handful of startups, and lingering skepticism from the AI winter of the 2000s, a period that dampened enthusiasm for the field. There was a stigma of false promises attached to the name artificial intelligence, and many investors viewed it as a speculative black hole. But a small, three-person startup in London was about to change the game. Demis Hassabis was a polymath in every sense. Hassabis was born to a Greek Cypriot father and a Singaporean mother, and grew up in North London. He was a chess prodigy by age 13, ranked as the world's second best player in his age group. But chess is just the start. He completed his A-levels 2 years early, at 16. Asked by Cambridge University to take a gap year due to his young age, Hassabis began his computer games career at Bullfrog Productions. He developed simulation video games that sold several million copies. After graduating from Cambridge with a double first in computer science, he founded his first company, a London-based games developer called Elixir Studios, signing publishing deals with Microsoft and designing games that reached BAFTA nominations. But in April 2005, Hassabis shuts down the studio and goes back to academia to obtain a PhD in cognitive neuroscience from UCL. His work was listed in the top 10 scientific breakthroughs of 2007. Hassabis sees something most people don't. The convergence of neuroscience, computer science, and massive compute power is about to unlock something extraordinary. In 2010, he leaves academia and teams up with fellow UCL researcher Shane Legg and childhood friend Mustafa Suleiman. They start DeepMind with a bold mission to solve intelligence and use it to solve everything else. Not to build better ad tech or social media algorithms, but a multi-decade Apollo-style project to crack artificial general intelligence. Machines that think, learn, and reason as well as, or even better than humans. Audacious? Yes. Crazy? Maybe. But history rewards the audacious. DeepMind's early work zeroes in on reinforcement learning, a paradigm of machine learning inspired by how humans and animals learn from rewards and punishments. The idea is simple, yet profound. Create systems that don't need to be explicitly programmed for every task. Instead, these systems can teach themselves by interacting with an environment. The company raises funding from Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, and Skype's co-founder Jan Tallinn, and the future of AI starts with video games. Why games? Because they're self-contained worlds with clear rules and measurable outcomes. They provide an ideal environment for training algorithms to learn, adapt, and strategize. DeepMind focuses on training computers to master Atari games like Breakout, Pong, and Space Invaders. The algorithm learned from nothing but the video input, the reward and terminal signals, and the set of possible actions. The cognitive process which the AI goes through are pretty much like those of a human who had never seen the game and would try to master it. This was a big deal. They didn't just win. They built a system that could learn how to win. In December 2013, DeepMind made headlines with a paper showing how they trained an algorithm called DeepQ Network to play Atari games at a superhuman level. DeepQ Network mastered everything from shooters to car racing games, outscoring a professional player. The research community takes notice. And so do tech giants. In early 2014, Google buys DeepMind for £400 million. That's the company's largest European acquisition to date. Google didn't just buy the tech, it bought the brains. The team insisted on some unusual clauses. Any AGI advancements must prioritize ethical considerations, and DeepMind would stay independent, building from London. Hassabis want to recruit the best and the brightest, and keep them focused on their long-term goal. DeepMind wasn't just a job, but a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to work on humanity's greatest challenges. In that sense, the Valley could be a distraction, people trying to create the next Snapchat every 5 minutes. He resembled DeepMind to the Apollo or the Manhattan Project, getting the world's top computational neuroscientists and ML experts with huge engineering resources to see how far they can push. They gave meeting room names after Alan Turing, Leonardo da Vinci, and Nikola Tesla. AI must benefit humanity. This isn't just a tagline, it's baked into their DNA. Suleiman spearheaded efforts to make everyone aware of the double-edged sword AI represents. On one hand, it can solve problems like disease and climate change, but on the other, it could destabilize economies or even worse, become uncontrollable. They believe the development of AGI must be done responsibly and for the collective good. It's 2014. DeepMind assembles a team to test how well a neural network can compete at the centuries-old Chinese board game of Go, a game considered far too complex for machines. DeepMind wanted to take on the challenge. A year later, they unleashed AlphaGo, which became the first computer program to beat a professional Go player. AlphaGo taught itself how to play the game by studying hundreds of games played by Go champions, and then devising its own strategies. In 2017, it wins the #1 ranked player in the world at the time. This wasn't just an AI moment, it was a humanity moment. Suddenly, the world realized AGI might not be sci-fi after all. But DeepMind doesn't stop there. It keeps pushing boundaries with systems like AlphaZero, a computer program that masters chess, shogi, and Go with no prior knowledge, learning from scratch in just hours. It developed a partnership with the NHS in the UK to help patients with acute kidney injuries. It helped optimize Google's data centers, saving energy. DeepMind had built an intelligence engine that could dominate any structured problem. But could it solve real-world scientific challenges? Enter AlphaFold. The team picked protein folding, one of biology's grandest puzzles, with implications for disease research, drug discovery, and life sciences. Proteins are the molecular machines that make life on Earth work. Nearly everything our body does, from fighting a disease to breaking down food, it does with proteins. But the protein's function depends on its 3D shape, and protein misfolding can cause diseases like Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and many others. Cracking protein folding would be absolutely game-changing. Within months of its AlphaGo success, DeepMind hired a handful of biologists and set up a small team. The first glimpse of what they were working on came in 2018 when AlphaFold 1 won CASP, a worldwide competition for protein structure predictions. This is a lighthouse project, our first major investment in terms of people and resources into a fundamental, very important scientific problem, Hasabi said to The Guardian. But beyond the world of biology, few paid much attention. At CASP 2 years later, DeepMind revealed AlphaFold 2, which was a major leap forward in terms of accuracy and generalization. It could predict the shape of a protein down to the nearest atom at scale and in minutes, something biologists had struggled with for over 50 years. Biologists were stunned by just how good it was. It's the most complex thing we've ever done, said Hassabis. DeepMind open-sourced the code and published a paper in Nature which has been cited nearly 32,000 times. In 2024, AlphaFold 3 took us beyond proteins to a broad spectrum of biomolecules, unlocking even more transformative science. Hassabis and DeepMind director John Jumper were awarded the Nobel Prize in Chemistry. But that was part of a bigger story. It signaled a change of direction for the AI lab, a shift from games to science. What DeepMind set out to achieve from the early 2010s, use AI to help solve the world's hardest problems. In 2023, DeepMind merged with Google's AI division, Google Brain, to form Google DeepMind. This marked the end of a years-long effort from DeepMind executives to secure greater autonomy from Google. DeepMind went from a 3-person startup in London to a global AI leader, reshaping science, medicine, and more. The journey isn't over, but one thing is clear. What started as an idea, a small group of thinkers chasing intelligence itself, might end up changing everything. DeepMind was a bet on brains, boldness, and belief in the unimaginable, a symbol of what Europe can achieve when it dreams big and builds.